In my last video, I mentioned that we recently lost our cat of over 15 years, which is a natural death. Cats last for a very long time. He went, I think, way beyond what we ever imagined. But I wanted to talk about grief, right? So the stages of grief, as proposed by Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Now, it's important to understand that many individuals may not experience these phases in a linear order, and the process, it's unique to each person. So what does this have to do with spirituality? I just wanted to mention that spirit tends to tell us and give us signs prior to the death of a loved one, friend, family member, or even our animal. So in the past month, Brownie was very cuddly. He would be up underneath our other cat, Mellow, all the time. Typically, he would shy away from photographs, but he definitely wanted me to take some of him. He would just follow me around the house a lot. It was just such a pleasure the past month. Looking back at the photos on my phone, it was shocking. I said, he was almost like he was trying to say goodbye without me even knowing it. And something else interesting happened the week of his passing. Out of nowhere, we had a minimum of 4 separate cats around our house. There was a mother with 2 kittens, 2 other cats, and they were just all over our ring cam in the backyard. And I was motivated to take one of our plastic totes, cut a hole in it, and put some hay in it so they can hang out and be warm in the backyard. It was almost as if Spirit was saying, we're your little spirit guides, and we're here to let you know it's time to take your friend home, right? So leading up to his passing, I started to learn about Bastet, ancient Egypt sacred cat goddess, right? With this incredible seductive power and energy. She was considered, I guess, maternal, like, motherly, but also aggressive, just like the mama cat and the 2 kittens that we were feeding outside. One day I walked outside and saw a squirrel completely skinned. They were eating the meat from the squirrel, and the skin was on the other side of the yard. And I said to myself, damn, wow. I had no idea that cats had that in them, right? Because I'm usually dealing with our domesticated one. But it was just such an interesting energy when I came out, and she was very standoffish, hissing at me, but I left food for the kitties and her. And then the next day she saw me, she didn't trip. She knew I had food and let me leave them for the cats. And I thought about my own energy, how I am, my babies, and how, I'm pretty passive just regularly. But when it comes to my kids, I will slit your throat. And I think a lot of moms know that mama bear thing that we have. But she was aggressive. She was wild and domestic. That said, was also sweet, right? And like the moon, she had this dual energy that's all about what's hidden and what's right there in front of your eyes, like a dual dark side of the moon and, the other side of the moon. Now, I say all this to say that all of us have a dual energy, right? And being empathic, a lot of people are under the impression that we're all love and light and, walking around here on a cloud and everybody is loving and fantastical and magical, unicorn energy. Yes, we do have that side, but there is another side of us that knows how to load a gun and take care of business. There is that other side of us that can snap your neck easily and drop you to the floor to protect our loved ones, to protect our family if we feel that we are in danger in some way. And I believe that a lot of biblical figures had that same dichotomy. David, for example. So for a long time, I think in the spiritual community, a lot of people have kind of made fun of us and thought that we were a joke. Or here's an example, this Netflix film we recently saw called The Twin Flame. I forget what it's called, Twin Flame Journey or something like that, where there's this pretty much a witch and a warlock. Let's call it what it is, because there are witches and warlocks in church as well as just in life in general who do like multi-level marketing schemes, trying to obtain money from people and brainwash them and mind control. We tend to have this hive mind excitement and we want to join something as humans. But back to the grief aspect of this. There are many people out here during Thanksgiving and the holiday season where it's not so jolly, it's not so exciting, it's not so happy. Now, me personally, I'm kind of past that point of being the Grinch who stole Christmas. Not gonna lie, I was there. I was right there for a very long time because the loss of all of my relatives and understanding that moving through life as your own person without that support is very difficult. And I know that there's somebody out here listening to me who may be going through this right now. Sometimes your friends are better than your own damn family because your family is a bunch of karmics and you're like, I'd rather be away from them. Similar to a death, right? Not everybody in our family has our best interests at heart. Not everybody in our family loves us. In fact, some family members may actually hate you and hate your light. So barring you're not a karmic and you don't hate your family members, friends and family, right, can support someone grieving during the holidays by being understanding, empathetic, encouraging open communication. This will allow the grieving person to express their feelings. Just offering practical assistance like helping with holiday preparations or, just listening, going out for coffee and sitting down and just listening, right? It can be very meaningful. Being patient, allowing the grieving person to set their own pace for participating in holiday activities is very important. Forcing a loved one at gunpoint to come to Thanksgiving dinner when they are not in the mood can be disastrous, not just for your dinner, but for, that person. Maybe something as simple as Boston Market might do the trick. Being around people can be very difficult and you feel like you're putting on a mask. Creating that supportive environment, right? That acknowledges that the loss actually happened instead of pretending, yeah, everything's fine when it's not. We also allow those moments of joy and remembrance, right? You can contribute to a more compassionate holiday experience. Anyway, I just wanted to throw this out here as it fast approaches. It's also the season for narcissistic jingle bells. So some of our family members may have narcissistic tendencies, make it all about them. If you're grieving, that's the worst environment you could possibly be in. My suggestion, protect yourself. Have very strong and firm boundaries. If you got to go Busta Rhymes flip mode squad on a few people to let them know, hey, back off. I'm grieving right now. I'm going through something. You are more than welcome to do so. People make it all about them when it really is not. Anyway, I'm just sending all that love, all that light to you, and I'm hoping you get through this just like we all are, right? So drive safely and don't feed the karmics and have an awesome holiday season. I'll be posting in the meantime, of course. Bye.